We're going to talk about what are some questions you should ask on a first date. So before we get into the questions, there's context, because my whole thing is tools, not rules, meaning that I don't want you to ask some rando questions that someone would just find in a blog online, because that's not going to work for you. So number one is you need to figure out actually what are your values, what are your deal breakers, because the questions you ask are going to absolutely be about those things. So once you have those values, let's say, for example, you're looking for someone who has financial stability. So rather than ask a bunch of questions about what job they have or their career, you want to talk about something that's going to give you an insight into their value around it. So for example, like your career, what motivated you to choose it? When you were thinking about it, were you focused on money? Did you grow up being told that, success looks like this? Have you always been ambitious? How did you decide to choose your industry, and what's been motivating you to create success? So those are all questions that you can ask around financial stability on a first date that don't seem like you're trying to find out how much he has in his 401k. Number two, you want to ask those questions in an engaging and curious way. So the mindset you have is super, super important, meaning we don't want to give off the energy of are you a waste of my time or not? Because that's just not sexy. So the energy that you're going to be asking these questions is going to be in a curious and open and playful space, so that when he responds, you are going to be vulnerable and open and share what your answer would be. Ultimately, the questions you ask on a first date need to start giving you some insight to whether this guy is going to have the same values as you. And then finally, you want to make sure you're looking for the same things. So asking, are you in a place where you're looking for your forever person? I am, right? Because again, you want to make sure that you are filtering. And the guy who has a reaction to any of these questions as too nosy, too much, too soon, he's not your guy.